so now I'll be doing a walkthrough to actually show you how to actually find out if the university of your choice accepts the IBDP as a legitimate certificate for entrance into the university. So the first thing you should do is to type in the name of the university. So I would type in, does the University of Singapore accept the IBDP? And then click enter into Google. So what you would usually find is you also want to look for the official school. So in this case, I was looking at NUS, which is the school I'm currently studying in, and I would click on that link. So this would actually show me briefly also whether the school actually accepts the IBDP, and in this case it seems like they do. So you can see here. So the next thing that you want to do is to scroll down, and usually you would be able to actually see the requirements, but for this case we do not see that. So what I would do after that is to actually click on this link, and you would be able to see whether there are any additional requirements for the course besides having presented your IBDP certificate. And as you can see from this, there are actually some dates where you have to take additional tests, some interviews, and in some cases the websites are really clean. So for example, for this they even provide the subject prerequisites. Sometimes you need to do some additional digging to actually find the actual requirements. So for instance, what I would type in is something like this. Alright, so this would actually give me the subject prerequisites. So you would actually be able to use this website to actually see what kind of requirements, apart from just getting the certificate in general, are actually needed for the specific courses. So for example, if I wanted to go into civil engineering, I would actually need to have taken HL Math, HL Physics or HL Chemistry, and I wouldn't have needed to pass in those subjects. So this is one way that you can find out. Alright, so this is just a simple example with regards to this. What you can also do, alright, is to just contact the university directly. So this, I presume it's here. Okay, it doesn't seem to be here, but what you can do, for example, in this website is you can actually give them a call. So for any students aspiring to go to NUS, the number is just right here. Give them a call, ask them. They'll usually redirect you to a college admissions officer. Alright, so now what I'll also be doing is giving an example for another university. This time the university is the London School of Economics. So all I'll do again is type in LSE IBDP requirements, or you can use the other format which I showed just now, which is does LSE accept the IBDP. So from here, what I did was I went straight into the website. Alright, so I clicked onto this, I believe. Yeah, and actually what I found out was pretty good. Yeah, so actually it's not this one. Oh yes, it is this one. So what I'll do is I'll click on this. You have to make sure that it's the correct one. It's for the IBDP. And what you can actually see is that the requirements for LSE range from 37 points overall. So if you want to go to this university, you should be aiming above 37 points. And they actually also went the extra mile to actually inform you what are the specific subject requirements for the various courses. So for example, if you want to take BSc Finance, you would have needed to take Mathematics AAHL. Yeah, so there's quite a lot of information here. I'm sure if you searched hard enough, you'll be able to find the exact requirements for that school. Alright, here I have another important document that's super useful, but yet many schools actually don't give this out. And I'll be linking the exact links to these brochures down in the description below. These are not mine, these are actually by the IBO. So unfortunately, these guides are not for every single country, but they are for the more popular countries like the US and UK. So this guide is actually really useful because it actually tells you the exact procedures of how IB students can actually apply to the universities in the UK and other countries like the US. So for example, they state here that you have to do the application process actually through UCAS. So if your school maybe didn't do such a good job in explaining that, you can obviously take a look here. They also show the entry requirements, what happens when you gain an offer, what happens when you submit the application, and what happens after you accept the offer. So that's quite comprehensive, but more importantly, it actually gives a good breakdown as to where IB students actually send their transcripts within this country, of course. So as you can see, it seems like King's College London actually has many IB students applying to it, and you can actually see the acceptance rates, the average scores, which will give you a good understanding of whether you would have a good chance of getting into the university with your score or not. So they give a few universities here, which is really informative. I wish I had this document. Maybe I did have it, but I didn't realize it at that point. But this document is really useful, and it lists some of the more popular universities, I guess, for the UK in this document. So use this document if you want to go to the countries that are listed under these guides. I'll be linking the website to get all these guides from, and credits to IBO for this guide. Alright, so back to another useful resource that you can consider using when you are trying to find out whether the university or the country accepts the IBDP certificate, is to actually go to this website, which I'll be once again linking in the description below. So as you can see, this is a thoroughly helpful resource, and what you can do is you can scroll down and you can actually see the stance that each country has for the IBDP. So for example, if I was interested in applying to a UK university, but I'm not sure if the UK accepts the IBDP, all I have to do is to scroll down, click on this, and you can see what their general stance is. So you'll be able to see that they accept, UK universities and colleges accept the IBDP for entry to all first degree colleges and higher education institutes. But usually these will also come with a disclaimer that each institutions are autonomous and therefore have their own standards. Now this differs from country to country. Some countries, like I said before, they do not recognize the IBDP, while some countries would have very different kind of criteria or kind of stance on the IBDP. So remember to do your homework before applying, and make sure that you really know what the countries and university stance is before pinning your hopes too high on applying to that with your IBDP certificate. So we've come to the end of our video. I hope you found this very informative. This was some advice or some knowledge that I wish I had when I was applying to university. Maybe it was given to me by my school counselor, but maybe I also wasn't listening at that point in time. So I hope you found this useful. I hope you found this interesting as well. And if you have any other questions, please direct them to the comments below. If not, if any of you have any great resources as to how to know whether the university that you're applying for accepts the IBDP or not, do put them in the comments below to help out other fellow students and parents. So if not, that's the end of the episode, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.